Guys, we are back. It's the Meghan show. It's the Meghan show. It's the Meghan show. Yeah. Okay. Kisses to all of you. I'm going to start him from the beginning. We are doing a deep dive. The other video is just my intro to this deep dive. Just me doing a little bit of chit-chatting. And I really want to home in on this point. I want to home in on how Meghan treats people. And then she expects those people to treat her differently than how she treats them. So she thinks it's okay for Harry to write a book about his brother, say things about his brother, and not think that there's going to be consequences behind that. But it's okay for them to tell their truth because they were mistreated. I was mistreated, so this is why I'm telling you what happened. So I want you to defend me and not my brother. Although he is the one that has gotten cut. He is the one that's in the crossfire. He's the one that's being defamed and trashed. And so now he has to deal with that. He has to deal with the Sussex Squad. He has to deal with countries and nations looking at him like, uh-oh. And not just them, the whole family, because Meghan said that they were racist. And so it puts a stain on the royal family's brand when Meghan and Harry starts talking. But she knows that it does. And she does it in a blackmailish kind of way. I think she tells him, if you don't give me this, then we're going to do this. If you take the cottage away, then you're not going to see the kids anymore. Okay? Let me say that again, because Harry says that. And I know Meghan told him to say it. He must don't want to see the kids anymore if he's going to take away the cottage. What does the cottage have to do with you going down there to let him see the kids? Let me tell you something. If social media wasn't here, if we wasn't allowed to talk about this stuff, Meghan would be a lot worse behind the scenes. They would probably be going through pure hell. Because she sits and she plots these things out. And then look at the outcome. The outcome is catastrophic. Okay. Kisses to all of you. My loyal, wonderful subscribers. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for your love and your support. I want to thank that person. I don't know who it is because I went back on there to look to see the name. My super sticker. Thank you for my super sticker. It is so awesome to have. And I am truly grateful. And thank you for my tip jar too. It's really cool. It's really cool to have it. It's just cool to have it. It's really cool to get it. And it just you feel good. It's a really feel good feeling. Because when people start opening up their pocketbooks and giving you money from their hard-working money, you guys work hard for your money. It's not in the recession and the things that's going on, and for you guys to share that with me, it touches me. It really does. Okay. So we're going to start the video back over, just start it from the beginning. I know that I really want to talk about the fact that Meghan is not the victim. She tries to portray herself as the victim. And her victims are those that she talks about and leave in her wake. Even Omid Scobie is a victim. He's a victim of his circumstances with Meghan. He believed the Kool-Aid. He believed what she was saying. And then now he's in a situation where his reputation is shot. He has no credibility. And so no one's going to hire him to do anything with his credibility shot. And so the only thing that he has to hang on to is Meghan and her shenanigans. But what I'm confused about is why would she collaborated with him. Let's just start here.
You have a bit of a social media following, and so does Harry and Meghan. So I thought, let's set the world on fire and start talking about Harry and Meghan, because it's a make or break year for our friends in California. They've been dropped by Spotify, haven't they? And they've not sold enough books either. I don't think Spare did very well either, even though he tried and blew off the top of the royal family as well. What next for the former royals? Are they going to come home with tails between their legs?
Well, you know, I go to America all the time, and a few years ago, Meghan and Harry were pretty popular because Americans always love royal family stuff because they don't have their own royal.
They were very popular. The American people love royal stuff. That's exactly right. My mom loves it. She likes it. It's intriguing. I don't care who you are. It's intriguing to know that we have a king and queen and prince and princess over there in the United Kingdom. And it's such a wonderful thing to celebrate. This is the moment for them to shine. This is the moment for them to be on top of the world. They just lost one of their major patriarchs. She was. Elizabeth encompassed everything there was to know about the royal family. And her dedication to her country was just, you can't beat it. She will be talked about for years to come, decades to come, because of her dedication, because of her, what she gave up. She gave up everything. She became the Queen of England, and she was serious about her job. And so we love the royals. We might not know all the ins and outs about it, but we love the royals and we respect the UK.
Family, but you know, every time I go to I speak to is not a fan of Harry and Meghan. And look, I think they really see them as...
Every person that he speaks to is not a fan of Harry and Meghan's. That's not good. Why is that? Ask yourself that, Meghan. Why are you on the bottom of the list when it comes to popularity? Like you are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to popularity. And then everybody that speaks about you, they don't like you. Why is it? Why has your life turned upside down where you don't have the support that you need to be a senator, let alone a president, a producer, an executive producer, Audible, whatever she touches? How are you supposed to succeed in that when he just said the people that he's been talking to basically don't like you? How do you get yourself out of this situation? I looked at my husband yesterday and I told him, I said, Meghan's in a really bad place. I said, it's as bad as you can get it. If it gets any worse, hell, I would pack up and get the heck out of there. You can't get it any worse than where she is. This is the worst of the worst. 2023 was the worst year ever. But why would it be? When she had Spare and she just did a docu-series. You know why? Because she's not reading the room. She's not listening. It's going on deaf ears. And even this conversation, if she was listening to this gentleman, she would be in denial. She denies everything that anyone says about her and tries to pretend that, no, I am not that person. But in every video that I've done, they always talk about her character. Let's continue.
Very privileged and just moaning all the time. And look, they lost the Spotify deal. They were meant to do a lot of episodes. They only ended up doing a couple.
Did you listen to them?
I can't listen to Meghan talking. Sorry, I've listened to clips.
He said he listened to clips. He can't listen to that. I didn't watch it either. I think I skipped around. It was just so hard to listen to her. But if you listen, all she talks about is herself. I, me, and me. That's it. It's all about Meghan. And it's boring, And if she had talked about the royal family in a delightful way, it would have probably been a little bit more interesting. Instead of dissing, instead of trashing her royal engagement. Remember, she went on that royal engagement and she was talking about how Archie almost got burnt up in the nursery. Well, why not make it more of a positive? Why not say it this way? Well, there was an incident, and one of the heaters wasn't working and it actually caused something. I'm not going to say what she said. It caused it was smoke in his room, but thank God to, all the staff and everybody that was there to watch my little one. He was perfectly fine. They took care of the situation right away. And, it is hard to go out on royal engagements when, your mind is thinking about your child 24/7. But I knew that I left my baby in the right hands. That's why I was okay to go on my next royal engagement while I was over in Africa. No, I think she was in Africa. She was somewhere with Archie, okay? And I know you guys are going to let me know where she was. But my point is, the point of the story is changing the narrative and making it a more positive solution. It came out to be a more positive solution versus her going in and saying how horrible, like he almost burnt up and then she had to go out and do a royal engagement. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to marry Harry. You didn't have to have his child. You didn't have to you chose this life for yourself, and then you blame others for the choices that you make. So now it's the royal family's fault that Archie was in there. And it insulted those people that were watching Archie. Now, if she was that scared and that frightened, then why did she go on the tour the next day? The drama of it all. Let's continue.
I didn't listen to it.
I did watch the Netflix series.
I'm sorry to let you down, dear listener. I didn't do my research. I didn't listen to those podcasts.
So I watched the Netflix series and it was just very dull. And
I did watch that.
100 million.
It's 2 hours I can't get back.
It was dull. It was boring. It wasn't about a love story, about like a prince and a princess meeting and it being wonderful. Nope, you saw a domineering, dominant person on there dominating the entire show. And then disrespecting the queen and the culture. And then calling it racist. How was that a good show, Meghan? You don't know how to produce anything great because you haven't produced anything thus far. The Oprah show wasn't a good produced. The Netflix wasn't good. The Spotify wasn't good. The Spare wasn't good. None of that was good. You got fired from Spotify. So that tells me that you wasn't qualified or you wasn't good enough to withstand. There was something else I wanted to say. No, this is what I want to say, because she blames. And you can't blame people for the things that you came up with. No. The Spotify and all of that. She wasn't good in any of those things. It wasn't a love story. It was just, I forgot what I was going to say.
I just think the public interest in them is really waning. And obviously you've got the wedding of the year coming up.
The public's interest is waning. So you got some people like myself, if she comes out with something, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be like, okay, what is it? But I'm not going to go out and support it where I'm giving money to it. I'm not going to pay for it or whatever. I'm just going to get it from my YouTubers, okay? So it's wavering, meaning, does that mean like people don't want to see her anymore? They don't want to hear what she has to say anymore because it's the same old song, just in a different format, isn't it? Meghan says the same thing in different formats. She said what she said on Oprah, she said on the docuseries, it was just in a different format. Just like the Spare book in a different format. I don't understand why. This is what I don't understand. We know that Meghan is in control. And we blaming her because I blame her because she's in control of the entire Sussex thing. And Harry just sits back and allows her to do it. And so what good woman, what real woman wouldn't stop it and say, wait a minute, hubby, I don't want to do this. I think if we put that in a book, Endgame, about King Charles and Catherine, that it's going to ruin us. No, nobody had that conversation. And Harry knew. He knew exactly what's going to be in the book. He knew exactly the plan. He knew exactly what his wife was going to do. She told him. He's not stupid. But does he do anything about it? No. He allows her to continue to do it. It's like, okay, what's next, honey? What's next on our agenda? I just remember Harry thinking that he was coming over here to live a quiet, peaceful life. She lied to you. No, it's nothing quiet and peaceful about Meghan. Your life will forever be in this dark-like phase, because there's this negative that's coming out from over there. What's next for them? If whatever we see, it's negative. It's not positive. And women in general have the kind of ability to make things better, to change things around. Why won't she take a different path? Why is she taking this path? And then trying to pretend after the fallout that it wasn't her, that she doesn't know anything about it. No, we see you. And on the docuseries, you see her walking around dominating the entire show. You see her talking the most. Harry's just looking at her.
I believe in June, the Duke of Westminster,
the wedding of the century. No, she's not invited to main events. She wasn't invited to Obama's birthday bash. She's not invited to Oprah's to-do things and her birthdays. Serena, no one's inviting her. The only invite that she got was from Ellen DeGeneres and her wife, Patricia. I was interrupted, but I needed to be interrupted because I'm not getting my point out, and I do apologize, guys. Let's move on, okay? Let's see what else he has to say.
Because for that's going to be a very, very big royal wedding. I believe King Charles Camilla will be there. King Charles is the godfather. But I don't believe Harry and Meghan will be there. I think they're going to be shunned because the problem is, I think a lot of the royal family...
You're shunned. You're not invited to the who's who's of who's who's, Meghan. She's not invited to the event of the year. Isn't that major? Like, you did not get an invitation. That means that they don't want your toxicity, your nastiness. They don't want any drama. So instead of inviting you, they said no. That would have hurt me. I'm like, wow, we didn't get an invitation, Eric, to the place? Why? Why did they say why? Oh, Oprah, Netflix, Spotify, Spare. I'm gonna stop saying the names, and I'm gonna call them the Fab Four. The Fab Four. Something, we gotta come up with a name, because we'll just quickly say them things that she's done. You wonder why you're not invited, and you just named 2 people in a book in the Endgame, and you're wondering why you're not invited. She thinks we're stupid. She thinks we're gonna think like her, and we can't. My mom told me, she says, you can't have your brain go there because you can't. You don't understand, because your brain doesn't function like her brain. And so it's not possible to understand why she would do the things that she's doing. But so you thought it was a good idea. Sorry, I'm messing with my hair again. I hope it looks okay. I did. We're good. I told you I was gonna pause it when I do it, but let's just do this real quick. Can we do this? Okay. You're wondering why you're not invited to all these big, wonderful events, and it doesn't hurt for you not to get an invitation. Everybody that I know is gonna be there. The who's of who's, the wedding of the century, where I can dress up and look beautiful, but now I'm not invited to the main event. You're not invited to places. People don't want you there. That speaks volumes. That they don't want you at their residence. They don't want you participating in their fun day because you bring about negativity. You're so full of drama that you can't get invited to the who's of parties. No one's inviting her, have they? Where's her deals? Where's the people that are supposed to be making Meghan rich? Okay.
You know, they don't trust them because every time they turn up, they're kind of spilling secrets to
No,
media.
yeah, I don't want you at my party, because if you are, then you're going to start talking about the party and everybody doesn't need to know what's going on inside. If everybody needed to know, then I would have cameras in here. She didn't want anybody at her wedding or her reception. She, everything, private. Excuse me. They don't trust you. Trust is gone. So if I invite you to my wedding, how do I know that you're not going to come back and say, well, William didn't even speak to Harry while we were at the wedding. He didn't speak to him. He didn't say anything to him. He just walked. This is Meghan. According to sources, that Harry just walked past William like he didn't even exist. No, William ain't coming. If Meghan is going to be there, William and Catherine won't be there. Why in the world would Catherine and William break bread or sit down or invite, hang out with someone that has continually just did it a week ago, named his wife as a racist? Having a conversation with King Charles. I don't believe that. I don't believe Catherine and King Charles were having a conversation, because I don't think Catherine will be talking about business that is related to titles and security. I don't believe that Catherine was like, well, if King Charles, this is the story. This is what Meghan says, that it was going to be a problem with the skin color, and in tandem that they wouldn't get security because of the skin color or the titles. And so why would Catherine be involved with business and telling the king what he should do about, or be concerned about, the color of the skin, as if Catherine was going to put something in place to say, nope, no more chocolate kids in the family, or excuse me, no chocolate kids in the family, no mixed kids, no kids with brown skin in the family, but they let her in. Does that make sense? No, Catherine wasn't sitting around having a conversation with King Charles, trying to come up with trying to figure out the situation and trying to understand why Meghan didn't get the titles of security. And the reason why is because of the skin color. I don't believe Catherine is talking about business such as that. If it was a conversation, which it wasn't, I don't think that she would be talking to King Charles about matters of that important. No, that's why it didn't make sense. Catherine is a new to the family as well. And why would she be having this baseless conversation with King Charles? That's how we know it's not true. Now Meghan is extremely lying and sitting over there plotting and planning at night, because Harry told us that Meghan gets up in the middle of the night. She can't sleep. She's always working in the night. The courtiers said that she was up at night, getting on their nerve while they were trying to sleep. Talking about, I want you up at 4 a.m. pouring me coffee and getting my tea because I'm your boss now. No, those are people. Those are people that are there to serve you, not for you to mistreat. Not for you to dog out and treat them like they're peasants. No, that's what we're talking about. Our girl, the Meghan show. Let's go.
And they're not doing it directly. Meghan might do it for an aide or for an assistant.
Right.
And of course, the Omid Scobie Endgame book was a real flop. And we know Meghan had a lot to do with that, feeding information. You know, the royal racists were named in the
we all knew that Meghan had something to do with that. He just said it. He says, we all know that Meghan has something to do with the Endgame and collaborated with him. Omid Scobie tells us that he got the letters. He got this information from Meghan, but he's saying that he got it from someone that was close to her. Well, who was it? Harry? Because that's really close. For someone to be telling you about, showing you, Omid Scobie, letters from King Charles. Because he basically says that he saw the letters. How did you get that close to see the letters? Did the inside source have the letters for you to show? Or did Meghan give the letters to the inside source so you could have it? And that way it was connected. No, Meghan told him in secret that I want you to put these two names in a book. And he tells us, Oldman Scobie tells us that he saw the letters and he saw this and he saw that, and it's, and he told us he was going to tell us who the royal racist was. He did. And he did tell us. He told us their version. He said he was going to do it, and he did it. He did it a leaky, sneaky way. Just like Meghan. Leaky, sneaky way. I don't know what she's thinking. Like, maybe if I can just get these two names out, people will start hating on those two. We haven't hated on them since you started on the Oprah show. So why would we do it now? Because when you name one person that is racist, they're all racist. You can't separate William and Catherine from King Charles or the UK people. They're one.
Translation, and it was meant to be an accident, but we know it was obviously a PR stunt. And that book actually only sold around 6,000 copies in the UK and US and 40,000 worldwide, which was a real disaster, because I think they were hoaxing it, but we know it was obviously a PR stunt. And that book actually only sold around 6,000 copies in the UK and US and 40,000 worldwide, which was a real disaster, because I think they were hoping
40,000 copies. What that book said was Meghan is not popular. What it said is that we're done with you. Freedom made a lot more money. People are done with Meghan. They're tired of her shenanigans. They're not supporting her anymore. They're not wanting to know what she's doing next. They don't care. Like my sister asked, what does she want? What is she doing next? What is it that she wants? She wants the world at her fingertips. She wants to be popular. She wants to be loved. But that boat has sailed.
Look, Spare did very well. I mean, in terms of autobiographies, I believe it sold 700,000.
Spare book did good. It did really good. When it came out, Harry made he should have made a lot of money from the book. But my point about the Spare book is people are returning it like crazy. I didn't know you can return a book. I didn't. I got the Audible copy. I didn't get the hard copy. I don't even want that in my house. I don't want it. Okay.
Copies in the UK, so it did do well. But I mean, they did make it half price straight away. Right. So they were probably just trying to.
This is called cucumber melon. It smells so good. You know what? I think we should do a raffle, and then I don't know how to do it. What I would like to do is send a gift. We'll play a little game, and then I can send you a gift, whoever wins. And maybe I can do like a Q&A question about, maybe some stuff that I say, and see if you like something like this. Okay, what is my nickname? Lady L. Lady Letitia. You know what I'm saying? And then if you get them all right, then I'll send you something. So we'll see. We're going to have some fun this year, okay?
People to buy it, but I think the interest is waiting. So next year, Meghan's trying to become an influencer. She's trying to follow in the footsteps of the Kardashians and get all these kind of health deals. You see.
Oh God, I've been talking to myself. I thought I was talking to you guys. Here, let me go back. Let's rewind it, and maybe you'll get.
Doing a lot of, going around the country and shaking.
So he's talking about them two getting back into the royal family. It doesn't make sense. Elizabeth gave her the opportunity to prove herself to the Commonwealth, I hope I'm saying that right, to the monarchy and to the UK people. She gave her that opportunity to become, and then she destroyed it. She called it racist. She said that they did all this stuff to her. And now this gentleman is talking about them getting back together, having a relationship. The trust is gone. Why would King Charles, I'm pretending I'm King Charles. Why would King Charles say, come on, Meghan, Come on back in the royal fold. We want you to do these tours. We need your help and all this stuff. No, they don't need her help that bad where they would sacrifice themselves. Why would Catherine doesn't want to see Meghan, and neither does William. She just got through talking about her again in a book. And now they're going to sit down and be a happy-go-lucky family. I don't know. I think I paused it and I didn't pause it. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on from that.
Hands and smiling and trying lots of rum in pubs and everything. Harry and Meghan, would attract, if they were given the royal seal of approval again.
If they were given the royal seal of approval again, they had that opportunity. You can't trust them. If you do trust them, you run the risk of going through that all over again. Meghan is not to be trusted. She is not faithful. She does not play well with others. Okay? So no.
They would be half treated as royals and half treated as celebs. People
That
would
don't make
turn up and
sense.
see them. And
He said they'd be treated as half royals and half celebrities. No, Meghan is a C-lister. The only reason they would let her back in is to help her reputation. But she's not going back over there. She's in Hollywood now. And she's in denial about her popularity. She is.
People would cheer them on. And Harry, actually, if he can sort of put the weapons down, is absolutely
Put the
brilliant.
weapons down. Put Spare down. Put Netflix down. Put Oprah down. Put it all down. Endgame. No, it's not Harry that needs to put it down. It's his wife. It's his wife. She wrote the letters to King Charles. So that's what Open Scobie said. This is about Meghan. Let me go.
Public.
Oh, yeah.
So there is that sort of chink of light. Because Rupert said so.
No, he looking at him like,
Yeah,
what is you talking about?
I mean, look, Harry has done a lot of good things over
He's like, what is you talking about? The other,
the years for
Gentlemen.
veterans.
Invictus Games is a mark of genius. Brilliant.
For disabled people.
Yeah.
But the problem is Meghan, and I don't think the royal family will ever accept a scenario where she's back. If they do happen to break
the royal family would never accept a scenario where she's back. Now, Harry might have a chance in the future, but the only way that he would have a chance is if this relationship dissolves itself, that it's over. And it will be sooner than later, because Meghan's ambition to be great is bigger than her ambition to be married to her husband. Instead of focusing on her marriage and her kids and her relationships, she's focused on being the president, the greatest woman in the world. And so that doesn't include being quiet.
up, which I think many royal correspondents do foresee in the future.
He'd be free, wouldn't he?
I think the royal family, King Charles, would take.
He would be free, wouldn't he? He's saying that he would be free from Meghan. He would be free to do what he wants to do. Free from Meghan. That speaks volumes, because he's not free right now. He's in a bad cult-like relationship with this woman, and he is not free to make his own decisions. And the decisions that are being made for him is being made through Meghan.
Him back, because I think they would feel that maybe he was taking advantage of Meghan and she was emotionally manipulating him, and I think they will take him back, but I don't.
Emotionally manipulating him. William believes, I do believe he knows this, that he is being manipulated. And obviously, Harry is easily to manipulate, because she came in there like a wrecking ball. She came in like a wrecking ball. Okay, I can't sing. Ooh, please don't hold that against me. But she came in like a wrecking ball. Boom. And he just hung on. This is Harry hanging on. This Meghan, this Harry hanging on. Woo! She came in like a wrecking ball. Boom. No. Harry would have to be divorced, moved on, been through severe counseling, severe manipulation washed through. He's going to have to his brain is going to have to be reconditioned, refixed after he gets through with this woman.
think they'll be taken back as a parent. Like you said, they have that celebrity quality, they're living in Hollywood and stuff, Montecito, so of course crowds would turn out, but I don't think the royal family itself would accept Meghan ever being back in the fold.
She's
Let me say that again. The royal family, I doubt, will accept her ever being back into the royal fold. She has messed up royally. She has messed up her opportunity to be great. Because this is the kicker. She came over here being disrespectful and nasty to the royal family. Why would I bring her back into something that she hated so much? If you hated it so much, then no, even if she lied and said, listen, William and King Charles, please let me back into the royal fold, because she's going to have to beg them. She's going to use those kids as leverage to say, if you want to see the kids, then you got to do this and you got to do that. If you want to see the kids, then you're going to have to let me and Harry back into the royal fold. And then she going to pretend like the royal fold need her. Well, they needed me, so I decided to go back. No, you needed them. You need them. They don't need you. They will never let her back into the royal fold. Ever. She is an outcast. And Harry may be able to be back in there, but not her.
Hasn't she? And that was the deal, wasn't it? I was shocked because Rupert said also that
word on the street,
they had to give Spotify fresh meat. Netflix, they had to give them some red meat. And the red meat was, we're going to wave goodbye Edward VIII style to our life as royals and go and take your few million. And they've completely overrated their celebrity. And this is the thing that I learned from my years in football. Sir Alex Ferguson, probably the greatest man manager of all, irrespective of industries, said to David Beckham, you'll know that he tripped up Diego Simeone in the World Cup in '98 and got sent off for England, and it was a humiliation, and he was public enemy number one. And within 12 months, he'd won the treble with Manchester United because Sir Alex Ferguson said, come home, son, concentrate on playing your way out of trouble.
That's a good impression.
Aye, play your...
It would not, it's the only way that she can get her way out of this trouble is the fact that she starts recognizing and taking some accountability for the things that she has done and try to reconcile. She needs to start with her father, but oh well.
Way out of trouble. And he did. He
I'm out of
really
here,
played
guys.
his way out of trouble. United won everything. Obviously, there's a bit of luck involved in that. And it's the same with Tiger Woods. He got involved in a bit of a domestic, ran over a fire hydrant, wasn't it? And
yeah, but Tiger Woods is different. He didn't get on national TV trashing his wife, trashing his family, and trashing his in-laws. Tiger Woods, this is self-inflicted. That's the difference between Meghan. Meghan did this to other people. She trashed people. She can't be trusted. Tiger Woods did something within his own. He was hurting himself. And so that's the difference. Like from me, and for instance, if I do something, it affects me. I'm not going to do anything that's going to affect my daughter, but it could affect her. You know what? I don't know if I'm saying this right. My point is that, yeah, moving on.
But you got to... I don't want anything else from Tiger apart from playing the world's best golf.
See?
I want David Beckham to take the greatest free kicks. From Harry, I want him to be the great ambassador of the Invictus Games, to talk about great soldiers doing
Yeah, that's what he has. Okay.
amazing things with their life afterwards, and smiling Princess Diana style.
Well, you can't have Harry doing all this Invictus stuff if he has his Jezebel in the front, like she's a part of it, like she's a veteran. Like she's a wounded veteran. They showed her so many times changing outfits. It's like every hour, she changed to a new outfit. Why? You were supposed to be focusing on the victims, giving out awards, and so on and so on. And you could tell Harry was trying to be more engaged than she was. She was there for shows and looks. Talking about she was running late because she was getting some milkshake for the kids. Oh, okay. So that made sense.
At a grateful audience. Just play your way out of trouble, man.
I mean, he was
He can't. because she's
Very,
got
very
the
well loved,
strings.
Not a bad guy.
He was just like Diana in the sense that he was doing so much charity work.
At a grateful audience. Just play your way out of trouble, man.
I mean, he was very, very well loved.
He's not a bad guy.
Harry was very, very well loved. He was loved over here. He was popular. He was one of the main popular royals of all times. Like, he was popular. I was like, whoa, I wonder, is he going to get married? What is he doing? Da, 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 da. I mean, we saw great things for Harry. He's a great guy. We saw that until...
He was just like Diana in the sense that he was doing so much charity work,
Yes.
Conservation work in Africa. And again,
He was enjoying his life. He wasn't in bondage. He wasn't tied down or whatever. He was living a single life. He met her. He had time to meet her.
Victor's Games was fantastic. So he really did so much fantastic work. So like you said, there is a gap there that's not being filled. But obviously you have Princess Eugenie, Princess Beatrice. They've obviously stepped up.
They need some help. The royal family needs help with the royal engagements. But I don't think they're desperate enough to go and get these two.
Princess Anne doing more and more engagements to kind of fill this gap. And of course now you've got Prince Andrew, who's pretty much completely out of the fold.
He's gone.
I believe he's being kicked out of the
Andrew is being kicked out and slapped out. Did y'all hear about the list? The Epstein list? Now, we already knew that Andrew was going to be on the list. But Bill Clinton's on there, Trump, Leonardo DiCaprio. I think Cameron Diaz is on that list. There's a few people on that list. I don't really know what the list mean, but the list doesn't sound good. And in my opinion, that this Epstein list is talking about, you know, who his associates were. And if you were that close to him, how did you not know that he had these young women doing that? They called his island the Sand Island. So you can't tell me that these people on that list didn't know that he had that going on. I just find that very hard to believe because these women were traveling with him. Me and my husband were talking about it last night. We both got different views on it. It's really interesting. If you guys want to know, I'll pop him on and we can talk about that. Let me know. I'm gonna need a lot of you to just, every one of you to say, listen, I want to know what your husband thinks, and even about Meghan, because I like to tell him what's going on, and then he was like, whoa.
That's his grace and favour mansion after the latest.
Could he be my next neighbour?
Doing more and more engagements to kind of fill this gap. And of course now you've got Prince Andrew, who's pretty much completely out of the fold. I believe he's being kicked out of the Royal Lodge. That's his grace and favour mansion after the latest.
Could he be my next neighbour?
Depends. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. He won't be living in any of the royal palaces. So.
Oh, we'll see. My house is up for sale.
Reindeers. Okay, guys. Listen, I hope you enjoyed my video. Kisses to all of you. This ends the Meghan show. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Kisses to all of you. Have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful Monday. I do have to get a little bit back to school tomorrow. She's been sleeping extremely late, and any advice on that would be very helpful. How I can get her up in the morning. I was going to just put her on my hip and kind of walk her around a little bit. Say, listen, we got to go to school. But I love you guys. Please leave a comment. If you never left a comment, say this is my first time leaving a comment. Tell me where you're from. And I want to thank you guys for my tip jar. And I want to thank you for my super stickers. Thank you for the love. Mwah.